Butch and Bob Show.
All right, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup. World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO for this Wednesday morning. It is the 5th day of March. And Bob, how's it going?
It's going well. How you doing?
Doing fine. Doing real good. Except for my back as usual. Other than that, I'm doing good. So you say Beck got his Lamborghini back?
They finally found it, Lamborghini. You know, he had 3 cars stolen. They found 2. He's living down with his girlfriend. You know, she plays on the basketball team.
She's one of those twins, isn't she?
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Boy, doing good, isn't he?
They found, anytime you get $4 million to play college football, you're doing good. I mean, he walked in, the Kirby's all said, "You're going to match the officer?" Said, "Kirby, get the heck out of here. We ain't doing that. Not that crazy. You weren't that good. Good luck in Miami."
So he's down there.
Or at least they found the
girlfriend.
Lamborghini, you know.
At least he got his car back.
I can understand. He wants to be with his girlfriend. I get it.
I know. You understand. His girlfriend's way down there in Miami. He's way up in Athens, Georgia. You know, and you take a look at her, you'd want to be around her too.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
He better put a ring on it. That's what he better do. What's that old saying? That's what he better do.
He better do.
Yeah.
Well, this is Wednesdays, which is supposed to have Wednesdays Without Werkheiser, starring Buddy DeLoach. And Buddy, we haven't heard from him yet, calling in from Atlanta for the legislative session. And we'll just talk about another minute or so. If not, we have some folks in here from the Appling County Sheriff's Department to talk about their law enforcement and first responders expo coming up soon later this month, and we'll talk to them in just a moment. But I'm gonna give Buddy another minute before we get started with them and go from there. So you had some meetings last night, is that right?
Yeah, the good news, city met last night, and I said we have Blake Tiller on yesterday. He talked about how they put some money in that for that industrial park in the budget. So again, with that and the help from Congressman Carter and Stephen Meeks and all the people, like I said, this was originally a $25 million project, but people with the city got together, find a different way to lower the cost. So it's down to about, they filled the $11 billion bid that came in yesterday. They got enough money to complete that entire project. So hopefully that money is in the state budget. But Blake Tiller yesterday confirmed that it's in there. So
it's in there.
It just has to be approved. So once that state budget's approved, it's going to be good news for Wayne County because the city and the county will get that money. So that's good for the industrial park and for the IDA.
They've got dump trucks going down there all day long, taking dirt down there. I guess for the. I'm not sure what for. I'm not sure to get the road or pads or what they're getting ready for out there. They're taking a lot of dirt out there.
Dale, Keith, and the IDA have worked on that project religiously, and like I said, worked hard, called a lot of people. I understand Stephen Meeks was a big part getting in the governor's ear, and like I said, Blake Tiller's been able to put money in the state budget. Congressman Carter's able to get federal funding, so it looks like it's all going to come to fruition. So it's still several years away from being completed, but as the mayor and city manager Mike Dill said last night, it's pivotal for the growth of Wayne County, and that's a big industrial park that's going to be built out there. It's going to be nice.
That's right. Well, let's go getting started with our guest this morning, Bob. And if Buddy calls, you have to understand that it will go to him.
I think he's tied up there. Like I said, I reached out.
It's about 4 minutes after now.
Normally he
call
responds, right?
Yeah. All right, let's get started.
Well, Long County's got a big law enforcement event. We've got Mr. Gene Davis, Chief Deputy, and we've got also, I didn't get his,
Eric Wilkes, Lieutenant Eric Wilkes from the Appling County Sheriff's Department. Georgia State Patrol.
Right.
I see now that looking shirt.
He's got that fine uniform over there.
I know, I saw the blue shirt and said, no, that's not county. County would be like either green or light brown.
So we'll start with you, Gene. Tell us what's going on.
Absolutely, guys. Thank y'all for having us. Always a pleasure. We wanted to promote our annual Law Enforcement First Responder Expo in Appling County. This event actually started in 2018. Sheriff Melton had, and by the way, Sheriff Melton couldn't be here today. He's out of pocket today, so Eric and I just kind of filling in for him. But anyhow, we started in 2018. This is our 7th year of having the expo. We had to skip 2020 because of COVID, but basically what this thing, how it started, Sheriff Melton had a vision. He wanted to be able to build that bridge between law enforcement, first responders, and our youth. He wanted to give the youth an opportunity to get up close and personal with folks in uniform, in case they had that burning desire for one day to choose that career path. And that's kind of how this started. The first expo we had was actually on the front lawn of the sheriff's office in Appleton County. I think we may have had 10 agencies involved, maybe 100 students came by. But since that time, it has metastasized into the largest event of its kind anywhere that we know of. Last year we had about 60 federal, state, and local law enforcement first responder agencies in attendance, and about 1,600 students from the surrounding counties, Appleton County and the surrounding counties. And this year we're anticipating probably between 65 and 70 agencies and divisions, and upwards of 1,800 to 1,900 kids. And it's something that we've worked hard. We're very proud of this event. Got a lot going on. A lot goes into it. We've had a team assembled for the last 6 months. Excuse me. And this planning team, it takes a while to plan something this large. Actually, Sheriff Mosley from Wayne County is part of our planning team. Lieutenant Wilkes has been instrumental in helping us organize and implement this program. Eric and I have been friends for many, many years and used to work together. And I tell you, he's been instrumental in helping us and also getting the Department of Public Safety on board. It's just it's a good time for everybody to come out. I'm gonna let Eric, if he will, talk about some of the events that we have going on that day. But it's March 19th from 8:30 to 2:30 at the Ag Center on Blackshear Highway, 2761 Blackshear Highway in Baxley. Eric, you want to talk about some of the events that we have going on that day?
All right, this is Lieutenant Eric Wilkes from the Georgia State Patrol, involved with this Law Enforcement First Responder Expo to be held in Appleton County in a few weeks. Go ahead.
Sure, and like Chief Davis said, this thing started kind of small, and we tried to add something to it every year. I've been part of the planning committee for several years now, and I guess we try to one up ourselves, and then when the agencies get involved, they see, especially if they've come and this is their first year coming, they say, well, hey, I'm going to bring something bigger. I'm going to bring something newer next year and show the public what we have and what we operate with. And so and when we transitioned to the Ag Center, we had enough space then to do live demonstrations. So right now, we're almost a full day of live exhibitions backed up, about 30 minutes apart. But just for an example, we're going to kind of kick off with a fire demonstration. Appleton County and Fire Department is going to have a live fire demo, and they're going to extinguish a fire out front. So that'll be interesting to see. And then followed by that, Georgia Bureau of Investigation bomb team is going to have some live detonations and kind of demonstrate how they operate when we're dealing with a device, and they're going to blow some things up, which is always fun to see. The Georgia State Patrol SWAT team is going to have a pretty dynamic exhibition involving helicopters and fleeing felons and canines chasing and biting. And
so you've got some actors out there that are the fleeing felons?
Well, they're
not hard to find.
Yeah, we just go down and just open up the cage and let them out. Y'all run, see where you can go.
we put on the most authentic show we can without getting putting anybody in danger. Let me say it that way, and it will be interesting to see. We're going to have a multi-agency event. I don't want to spill the beans too much about what it's going to look like, but essentially, what we're trying to demonstrate with the multi-agency event is if we have a serious injury crash or a fatality crash, we want to show the public how many agencies actually have a part in that, getting from beginning to end, and we're going to bring all those agencies together and show them what it takes to get through one of these investigations, and hopefully have an impact on the people watching it, and kind of hopefully have a little. I guess we're going to kind of pull on our heartstrings a little bit, and so that's part of that. And then we're going to have Camden County, I know they're going to do a canine demonstration. But aside from those things that are, I guess, bullet point headlines, every agency, we've asked them to kind of be more interactive and to bring the things that they have. And all throughout the day, regardless of what's going on the demonstration field, they're going to be interactive events such as inside the building. We're going to have at least, I think, four shooting simulation events. And with the new technology out there, it's kind of amazing. It's not duck hunt on Nintendo anymore. It's pretty realistic shooting events, and we're going to let the kids participate in that. And we're going to, hopefully the State Patrol, we're going to have a shooting event at our booth where all throughout the day the participants can come. And we want to stress this too. We are targeting the children. We are targeting the youth and showing them what is available in a career in public safety and how obtainable it really is. But we also want the public to come out too, because it's we want that interaction, and it's a great way to interact with us and see what kind of resources and just meet the people that you're dealing with on the public safety every day.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very interesting there, because I remember years ago with the Georgia Department of Natural Resources bringing in their simulated hunting and shooting and stuff like that. And I know how, since 15 years ago, how the electronics has improved since then. So I'm sure this is almost like lifelike.
It really is. And Motor Carrier Compliance Division, for instance, is bringing their driving simulator for commercial vehicles, and what the public will see when they get there is it's a tractor trailer, but when they go in that trailer, it's set up, it's air conditioned, and they'll sit down and they'll have an opportunity to drive a commercial vehicle, and for the first time, and it's so realistic that we have to warn people, hey, you could get motion sickness, and you can forget that it's a simulator. It's just that realistic, and but. Yeah, technology's changed, and just for instance, when we're talking about technology, just about every agency now has a drone program, and so you're going to have an opportunity to see the drones, see them in action, and what we do. And the only time we won't have the drones is when we have an actual helicopter flying. And speaking of helicopters, the military has always been we've considered them in Appleton County as part of our public safety, and we've always included them. And so this year, for the first year, we're going to have a Chinook helicopter. It's taken quite a bit of planning with our board to figure out how to facilitate something as large as a Chinook helicopter. But the military is bringing 2 different helicopters, including the Chinook, and along with our State Patrol and the air evac and the things that people are used to seeing. So this is just. I mean, we talk about this as a committee, but we hope it grows. But if it continues to grow, it's getting so big we're going to have to move venues. We have to come to Wayne
why
County.
do you have? I mean, you got lots of land, but you got to have a facility to have it at, right?
Right, and not only the facility, but this many moving pieces, especially when you have involving helicopter movement. You know, you can't be cavalier about the planning. So we have some very professional people that have backgrounds in this type of operation to make the whole day safe for not only the participants but the role players and the people that are bringing their equipment down, because the last thing we want is have any type of injury. So it like Chief said, it takes quite a bit of planning, and we
sounds like it. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, we actually, to get back to the actual root of why we started this, you know, we have so many negative situations in the world today that our kids face, and we want our children to be able to see someone in uniform and know that they can run toward them for help instead of run away from them, and that's why we want to build that relationship with our youth, and that's who we actually target. But like Eric said, we'd love for you know, anyone in the community that would like to come and see what we have to offer. I do not think that they would be displeased, because we have received nothing but positive comments and accolades from the surrounding schools that have attended in the past, and they always say, "Man, we'll be back. We're coming back," and that's why it's growing like it is. And it's an opportunity for the kids to get to know the folks that they see riding around in these patrol vehicles or fire trucks or the ambulances. They get an opportunity to go up and talk to them and sit in that vehicle and talk to them about what it takes to be what they are, and that's what it's all about.
What students from what schools will be there? I mean, is it lots of them from counties around?
It is. We
mainly
have
middle school, or you do high school also?
Well, we target the middle school because we want to get them at that age where they're, we can really make an impact on them. We do have quite a few high school kids. All of our high school kids from Appleton County will be there. Also, there's 16, I think right now 16 schools have committed in surrounding counties.
All right.
And that's about what we had last year, but I think what they're doing is actually bringing more kids this year.
Okay.
So it's going to be a large event.
And what we did, what Emily did is go around to the schools that border Appleton County and make sure that we personally saw those school systems and invited them to come and join us. And that doesn't mean that's where we're limited to, but that's the ones that we wanted to make sure had a specific invitation. And scheduling with that many school systems can be difficult, so that's the reason our date is what it is, usually every year.
Yeah, March 19th, you said, right?
This year, yes, sir.
And what day of the week is that? You know offhand? I can look.
Pretty sure that's a Wednesday.
It is. It's a
Yep.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, it's a
Also,
Wednesday.
last several years, we have dedicated our expo in either honor or in memory of someone who was very impactful to the community or to this event. And this year, it kind of hits home. We had one of our own get strucken down with a stroke during Hurricane Helene. He was working traffic during the hurricane, and is Captain Kenny Wright of the Appleton County Sheriff's Office. And as a committee, it was a no-brainer this year who we dedicated the expo to, and we'll have his family will be in attendance, and we have some things to present to them. And Kenny definitely needs our prayers. He's got a long, hard road ahead of him, and I know he will. He's without a doubt the most loved man in the county. And I do believe that with all my heart. He was my right-hand man at the sheriff's office. But Kenny's he's a strong man, and I'm sure he'll bounce back. And he's got a tremendous family, and he's got tremendous support. He's a man of faith, so I'm sure he's going to bounce back. And but I just wanted to let everybody know that it would be in honor of Captain Wright this year.
It's a very heartwarming to see that Sheriff Melton there in Appleton County came up with this idea a few years ago. Started off on your front lawn. Now it's a big event with almost 2,000 kids showing up, and then you got these 60-something agencies involved, and all the different things that are going to be there is just absolutely amazing. And one day maybe we'll have sitting here somebody who's in law enforcement, who is in middle school, who decided that's where I'm going to go when they saw all this going on there at the Expo in Appleton County. So
absolutely,
probably not very many years from that.
Absolutely, and that's what our target is. We want the kids to understand that this is a profession. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I'm sure Eric is too. And I've done it. This is my 40th year. I'm very proud of the fact that it was my calling, and that's what we want. We want the kids to understand that. When it's not a cliche to say that when kids are small that they want to grow up to be a fireman or a police officer, because that's true.
That's true.
A lot of them do, and we want to give them that avenue to be able to make that happen. And I'm hoping that the largest percent of kids that do show up, they take that path. And regardless if they take the path of the law enforcement or first responder profession, be a positive member of society. Period. And that's what we want for our kids.
Okay.
And so many of these careers that in these agencies that will be there, there'll be a recruiter with them. Like the State Patrol will have a recruiter will be there to talk to anybody that's maybe in that mindset, and they're maybe a couple years away from being eligible. But so many of these careers are very obtainable. There's sometimes the path from high school into this career field may be uncertain, but that's why we're here to help them, show them the way to get there, because it's like Sheriff Melton's always saying, just think about the federal agencies. There's dozens and maybe even hundreds of federal agencies that the general public is not familiar with. And if we can expose them to that and show them, hey, this is how you get from A to B, we know that they're not all going to be in public safety, but if it's in the back of their mind and there's a spark there, we want to do what we can to help turn it into a flame.
And there's many careers in each one of the agencies.
Absolutely.
It's just not what the public sees or what you see on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on that someone may want to do in one of these agencies.
Absolutely. I mean, just you take Appling County or Wayne County, as far as the sheriff's office, we have our patrol division, our 911 division, our detention officers, our admin staff, our school resource division. There's a lot of different aspects of every agency, like you said, and the state agencies are no different. They have many, many different divisions within that agency, and it's not just support staff. It's people that actually make the wheel turn, because I've said many times, if it wasn't for our admin staff, the wheel would stop. It's not just about the patrol car that you see riding down the road. It's about it takes everybody to make that team successful, and you're exactly right, Butch. There's a lot of different aspects of what can be part of this profession.
Okay, and we do want to emphasize that even though the main reason they put this on is to educate, inform, and to inspire the students, but anybody can attend.
Absolutely.
Anybody. And
lunch will be provided at no cost. We wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that. We've done that every year. So if whoever's in attendance, we'll feed them plenty of water to be hydrated. We hope and pray for a pretty day. We've been blessed so far. So bring sunscreen. Hopefully it'll be a warm day. And I tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that if someone comes, they will not be dissatisfied. They'll be very pleased at what this event really stands for and those who are in attendance.
Okay.
You mentioned location. A lot of people need directions. Like if you're leaving from Wayne County, what's the best way to get there?
Well, if you go to the easiest way to go would be if you leave Jesup, go up 341, take a left at the main red light, number 1 in 341, go down to Georgia 15, and go south on Georgia 15, which is Blackshear Highway. When you go out of town a couple of miles, it'll be on your left. You can't miss it. It's a huge facility, and we'll have people out parking, those in attendance. Like I said, the address is 2761 Blackshear Highway. So if you're like me, just plug it into your GPS, and it'll get you there.
Yeah, I haven't got to that point. I'll lay down the map, but so many people today just punch it in their GPS and they follow it right to it.
And we'll be opening the gates at 8:30 for our spectators. But do keep in mind there'll be events going on about every half hour, live events. So we don't want you to miss anything, but we'll be doing them all day. So if you can drop in for 5 minutes, drop in for 5 minutes. But we'll be there at 8:30, ready to welcome anybody that comes.
About what time does this wrap up?
At 2:30.
2:30.
Pretty much 2:30 sharp.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds like a great event. Just hats off to all of y'all to put this together. The idea of Sheriff Melton there of Appling County of starting this years ago, and now it just keeps growing. I mean, we've had y'all on now for several years, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and more agencies involved, and more students going in. It's just great, and more people, just regular average Joes and Sallys, going there and just watching it themselves too.
Well, Butch, let me add this if I can.
Sure.
If anyone would like to go to the Appling County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, we have a QR code. And that will give you an order of updated events. All this new technology, the QR code is a little something out of my purview.
I've never done a QR.
I'm still a little old school.
Never
too.
done it.
But we're dinosaurs. But there's so many people that know what I'm talking about.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
They do that, it'll give them an updated order of events for our live scenarios that'll be going on throughout the day. So. Those just to echo what Eric said earlier, those live events are something that's really very interesting to anyone, not just kids, but to the adults. We've had a lot of very positive feedback on all of it. All the kids. We're going to have five. We're going to have five aircraft, I believe, total, and the kids or the adults can actually see them up close and personal when we'll get them on the ground. They'll be part of a display. So, like I said, love to have everybody in the listening area come out to the Ag Center in Appling County on March 19th, and then join us for our expo. It's going to be a great event.
Where can you go to see this many agencies and this much fun stuff going on at one time?
Nowhere in South Georgia.
Sheriff Melton actually
For free, and get food for free too.
Yeah.
In addition to learning about what y'all do to keep the public safe.
Sheriff Melton actually attended an expo last year in North Florida, similar to this, and they were just getting started, just like we did 8 years ago, and it was a very small event. And they had the organizers of that event had a long conversation with the sheriff, and they were actually, I think the organizer actually heard about our expo through someone else, and that's how they got started. But there's not another event like this anywhere that I know of. But it's one of a kind, and we're very proud of it. We're very proud of our team that has put this together, and love to see everybody come out.
All right. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And a nice day.
Yeah, and send our best to the sheriff.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely send our best to Mark. All right. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Bob,
Thank
anything
you,
else
guys.
on your mind this morning? All right. Well, that wraps up the world-famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. In the studio this morning was Chief Deputy Gene Davis of Appling County and Lieutenant Eric Walker of the Georgia State Patrol talking about the Law Enforcement and First Responder Expo going on March 19th in Baxley. There on Highway 15, the Ag Center there. Everyone's invited. Goes from 8:30 to 2:30, and you will definitely want to go to that if you possibly can. It's always very informative and entertaining. World-famous Butch and Bob show has been brought to you by Heron Aldridge Insurance, by Murphy Builder Supply, First Southern Bank, and the Service Department at G&S Auto Sales.